Hello and welcome to this episode of RPGGamer Top 5s, and this time we're going to do the top 5 modern board games. Now, by modern board games we mean ones released in the last 25 years, so we're ignoring chess, Monopoly, and even slightly newer games like Risk and Trivial Pursuit. We're doing the games that are often dug out by gaming groups when they can't get an RPG together, rather than the ones you play with your grandparents at Christmas. And I personally was surprised by how far down the list Zombies appeared, as it's a favourite of mine, and only ranked at number 74. And, with that tragic news, let's get on with the countdown. And at number 5, Dominion by Rio Grande Games in 2008, with 4,625 votes. Dominion is a deck-building card game created by Donald X. Vaccarino and published by Rio Grande Games. Each player uses a separate deck of cards and draw their hands from their own decks, not each other's. Players use the cards in their hands to either perform actions or buy select cards from a common pool of card stacks. The player with the most victory points at the end wins. The game has a light medieval theme, with card names that reference pre-industrial, monarchical and feudal social structures. Parallels are often drawn with collectible card games such as the popular Magic the Gathering. Vaccarino, however, denies that Magic was the inspiration. Unlike that game, players of Dominion build their decks ad hoc as the game proceeds, rather than coming to the table with a pre-made deck. Dominion was the first game of its kind, but has spawned a whole genre of similar card-building games dubbed deck-building games. When the game was publicly released at Spiel 2008 in Essen, Germany, in multiple languages, it was voted Best Game of the Fair by the Fair Play polls. The success of the game has led to a plethora of expansions. By 2016, more than 2.5 million copies of Dominion and its many expansions have been sold worldwide, and expansions are still being published, thus also contributing to its Magic-like feel, since Magic also regularly releases expansion sets. And at number 4, Carcassonne, released by Z-Man Games in the year 2000, with 4,705 votes. Carcassonne is a tile-based German-style board game for 2 to 5 players. The game board is a medieval landscape built by the players as the game progresses. The game starts with a single terrain tile face up and 71 others shuffled face down for the players to draw from. On each turn, a player draws a new terrain tile and places it adjacent to tiles that already face up. The new tile must be placed in a way that extends features on the tiles it touches. Roads must connect to roads, fields to fields, and cities to cities. After placing each new tile, the placing player may opt to station a piece, called a follower or meeple, on a feature on that newly placed tile. The placing player may not use a follower to claim any features of the tile that extend or connect features already claimed by another player. However, it is possible for terrain features claimed by opposing players to become shared by the subsequent placement of tiles connecting them. For example, 2 separate field tiles, each with a follower, can become connected into a single field by another terrain tile. The game ends when the last tile has been placed. At that time, all features, including fields, score points for the players with the most followers on them. The player with the most points wins the game. It is named after the medieval fortified town of Carcassonne in southern France, famed for its city walls, and the game has spawned many expansions and spin-offs, and several PC, console and mobile versions. A new edition with updated artwork on the tiles and the box was released in 2014. And number 3, Pandemic by Z-Man Games, released in the year 2008, with 5,425 votes. Pandemic is a cooperative board game designed by Matt Leacock and is based on the premise that 4 diseases have broken out in the world, each threatening to wipe out a region. The game accommodates 2 to 4 players, each playing one of 7 possible specialists: a dispatcher, medic, scientist, researcher, operations expert, contingency planner or quarantine specialist. Through the combined effort of all the players, the goal is to discover all 4 cures before any of several game-losing conditions are reached. 3 expansions, Pandemic on the Bridge, Pandemic in the Lab, and Pandemic State of Emergency, co-designed by Matt Leacock and Tom Lehman, each add several new roles and special events, as well as rules adjustments to allow a 5th player or to play in teams. In addition, several rules expansions are included, referred to as challenge kits. Pandemic is considered one of the most successful cooperative games that has reached mainstream market sales, condensing the type of deep strategy offered by earlier cooperative games like Arkham Horror into a game that can be played in a limited time by a wider range of players. Aside from the expansions, several spin-offs have been released, most notably Pandemic Legacy Season 1, which adds an ongoing storyline and permanent changes to the game. At number 2, Ticket to Ride by Days of Wonder, released in 2004, with 7,584 votes. Ticket to Ride is a railway-themed German-style board game designed by Alan R. Moon. At the beginning of the game, players are dealt 4 train car cards as their playing hand. They're also dealt 3 destination ticket cards, each of which shows a pair of cities on a map of the United States and southern Canada. These become goals, representing 2 endpoints which the players are secretly attempting to connect. On their turn, a player can claim any route anywhere on the board that has not already been claimed, regardless of whether that route helps to complete their destination tickets. The game ends when one player has only 2 or fewer of their supply of coloured train pieces. When this occurs, every player then plays 1 additional turn, after which they each reveal their previously hidden destination tickets. Points are then added up for routes, with bonus points for connecting their destinations. As of August 2008, over 750,000 copies of the game had been sold according to the publisher, and as of 2014 over 3 million copies were reportedly sold, with retail sales over $150 million. And at number 1, Catan by Cosmos, released in 1995, with 12,062 votes. The Settlers of Catan, sometimes shortened to Catan or to Settlers, is a multiplayer board game designed by Klaus Tauber and first published in 1995 in Germany by Cosmos. The players in the game represent settlers establishing colonies on the island of Catan. Players build settlements, cities and roads to connect them as they settle the island. The game board, which represents the island, is composed of hexagonal tiles, hexes of different land types, which are laid out randomly at the beginning of each game. Newer editions of the game began to depict a fixed layout in their manual, which has been proven by computer simulations to be fairly even-handed, and recommend this to be used by beginners. In 2016, editions of the game were released with a conventional fixed layout board in this configuration, the hexes of which cannot be rearranged. Players build by spending resources, bricks, lumber, wood, grain and ore, represented by resource cards. Each land type, with the exception of the unproductive desert, produces a specific resource. The Settlers of Catan became one of the first German-style board games to achieve popularity outside Europe, and as of 2015, more than 22 million copies in 30 languages have been sold. The game involves a large amount of strategy, while still being fairly simple to learn. And that's it for this list of the top 5 modern board games. So what did you think? Is there a game you loved which was missed? Have you played any of the above? Because I know I've only played a couple of them. Whatever you think, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, by getting in touch through email or the website. Anyway, as always, many thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing, but most of all, you look after yourselves, and we'll catch you later. Bye!